Sorry, I just read something a little disturbing from a student. I'm going to probably talk about it or touch on it on this video. But I want to talk about the React token and how most people will not react in time. As a matter of fact, it's probably meant for me to read an email from a student that's having a little meltdown right now. And I got to be honest with you, I can't help everyone. Most people react late. They don't think ahead. And I could say all day long, do not buy into a pump. Like what's going on with Clanker. And I'm going to be doing an insider scoop video here soon about that. But I say it all the time, don't buy into a pump. If it's over 10%, 15% a day, unless there's some real solid mechanics behind it, which Clanker does have, don't buy into these pumps. Every single token I brought out this year, they went down like 50% during this dip. If you didn't buy them back then, I don't know what to tell you. You've got issues. I'm gonna be straight up hard with you because this is how I am with my students. Last week, I did a video for my DeFi students, which that is not open anymore. It's never going to be opened again. Sorry, I'm trying to teach them the fundamentals of because we're trading human emotion here. This React token that we're going to talk about and why I think it's a big deal. And it's been just sitting in this beautiful trend line. Wallets been opening, adoption's been increasing, all that stuff. It's beautiful. Like the chart is clean to me, right? And I'm trying to show people what happens before this token gets, it's already applied for Coinbase and from, Binance and all that stuff. It's just waiting. It's waiting for them to accept them, right? But people don't buy then. They buy when it's going up. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I try and teach my students, I try and teach you, and people just can't get out of their own way. So we're going to talk about React, and let's just fire this off right now. A couple things that I think is really important to understand about a small project that is very decentralized, and right now it's centralized in the fact that they're building the code, and so they've got to keep some control, centralization, because they've got to do hard forks, changes to the code and things like that, and they can't do it once it's all out there with a ton of nodes running, because if they don't get consensus, they can't get the new updates running, right? A lot of you have probably seen that in the past with Digibyte. So they're moving to phase 2 of their node setup, right? They got a hard cap at 500 million, but because they're bringing on this decentralized nature of running nodes, there's a balance between paying validator nodes and having the 100% fee burn, right? Hopefully they balance themselves out as adoption goes higher and higher, right? Spreads that you won't see a massive spike in coin issuance. Think about how proof of stake works on Ethereum's code base. That is how Reactive has built theirs, all right? So we all know that Reactive is set up to where it enhances smart contracts on not only the Ethereum blockchain, but so many other blockchains now, right? They're getting more and more partnerships with other companies that are using their process and their smart contracts so that these smart contracts can bob and weave and move so that you don't see liquidation events like what happened a couple Fridays ago, all right? Where people are getting wiped out with their loans, their margins, and all that stuff, their margin calls. The reactive smart contracts can see what's happening, changing environment. Oh, we're having a flash crash or meltdown real quick. Don't do what you'd normally do. Do this, okay? That's just one example. Well, now they're changing to their phase 2 of staking. And it's because phase 2 is coming to a close with the 90-day pool set to unlock at block 2.2 million and change, right? So far, over 100 million React has been staked during this phase and delivering an average APY of about 12.5%. Well, next up is phase 3, which will carry forward the same structure as phase 2, which is now 4 pools, 30 days cycle 1, 30 days cycle 2, 60 days, and 90 days. Each pool will receive different reward allocations from a shared reward pool. Well, they're also working on not only, anyone like you or me staking and getting, 12.5% on our return, in those shorter clusters of staking pools. They're also now branching out these validator companies, these companies that run professional validator nodes for companies like Ripple, all kinds of different projects, right? Cardano and things like that. And so they've got to pay them. And so that comes through token issuance. So you're going to see that token issuance rise a little bit by little bit as these validators come on. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go public where anyone can run a node kind of thing, right? Now that's like what they're shooting for, I think Q3 of next year, Q2 or Q3, something like that. But there's a lot going on there. Well, I want to read something that I found really interesting as far as why is React a big deal? And right now, React hasn't moved really at all. It's sat between a range of 10 and 14 cents, just floating up and down, depending on how much volume there is. These are the times to be looking at these projects, not wait like with Clanker. I did like what, 5 videos on the channel about Clanker. I went to my students and told them about Clanker. I made all these posts on X where you see Clanker's going to explode someday because of this, and this, and now it is, and people are FOMOing in. That's not the time you want to go, right? You want to go in while nobody's paying attention, right? Again, I can't talk enough about this, yet you get people that go, I just lost all my money. I'm like, you only lost because you bought something, you FOMO'd up, and you sold it at a loss. That's it. That's not my responsibility. That's yours as an investor, right? Type yes or no if you agree with that, right? If you bought something, and we've watched on chain, even with reactive, we watched someone the other day pay 14 cents for something for reactive, and 10 days later on chain, they sold it at 10 cents. 10 days later, 10 cents. It's like, what are you thinking? The team's only doing more and more. It just blows my mind. But this is how people act. And you will never be successful if you FOMO into something you don't understand and you sell at a loss. All right, here we go. Why is React a big deal? I saw this. Number one, this is a 3-point thing someone brought up. Reliability, right? There's no more missed events. Liquidations, yield harvesting, collateral adjustments, Oracle updates all happen instantly and predictably instead of waiting for bots or gas spikes. That's a really big difference. They are actively changing the way that smart contracts and blocks work, how the speed of this works. It says the system becomes more stable because logic executes exactly when it should. Next, number 2 is security, right? This is another thing they do. There's going to be fewer attacks surfacing when projects start using this add-on to their smart contract layer. It says today's keepers are off-chain scripts are single points of failures. Also, a self-operating contract removes the middleman, meaning less manipulation, front running, or downtime. Really important, right? Because if all of a sudden somebody knows that something's happening because they're running an Oracle with data, they start front running the trade and going, hey, I'd buy this crypto right now because this is about to change everything for it. They front run it and they sell it to you. All right. Another thing is the third thing is efficiency, which equal lower costs. When blockchains decide to start using this system, it says there's no need to pay off-chain actors to trigger actions, and users and protocols save gas and operational costs. So this project that I've been talking about for probably about 3 months now really hasn't done much in price. I mean, I guess it's went up like, what, 40, 45% for people that slowly are getting in, right? But I believe you're going to see, and this is my Babe Ruth moment, I believe in the next 12 months, you're going to see much higher prices on React because as the team keeps building and growing and adoption keeps increasing, wallets keep opening and stuff like that, you're going to see a natural progression in the increase in price. Look, I can't hammer this enough. Don't buy things on pumps. That's insane. But this is one of the largest crypto channels on earth. And so when I say something, people run out and buy them. I can't stop it. Shoot, the Clanker stuff. I have a student that's melting down telling me that I should have told them that Farcaster was going to buy it. Honestly, didn't know the Farcaster was going to buy it. I just knew, talked to some insiders and say, hey, we can't talk, but just know, don't sell it. We're working on something big, really big. And I trust them. And they're telling me other things about that and other projects. And I go, sweet. That's the kind of information I want to bring to my subscribers. Hey, look, we can't tell you what's going on. That's insider trading. But hey, we can just tell you we're working on something awesome. And I already know the net worth and the abilities of these people. And I tend to believe them. I actually do believe them. That's how this works. So I hope you got something out of this. I'm calling, my call for this next run on a percentage basis. I think that React could do really well. But none of that's financial trading advice. The financial advice is this. Don't buy something you don't know anything about on a pump and then sell it when it goes down a little bit because you're scared because you didn't know what you bought. That's advice. You want financial advice? That's it. And if you stick to that and you invest in things you understand that you learn about, then you'll crush it. But if you can't stay on top of your emotions, like this student that's emailing me, melting down right now, then that's why you're losing. Does that make sense? Is that fair? Can I just get a 100? Type a 100 if you agree with that. And type 101 if you don't and you're upset right now. And then also right after the 101, hit unsubscribe. Don't ever watch my channel again, because this ain't time for hanging out with babies. All right? Hopefully you guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. If you own React, I'm liking my position right now. I think the team's onto something really exciting. We're in the first, third inning of this game right now, and this is why we brought this one out during a downtime, so that we didn't see any crazy pumps. And to be honest with you, a lot of people aren't buying it because they're so lazy. They're only on Coinbase, and it's driving them crazy. They want me to talk about stuff that's on Coinbase. Some people's children. All right, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.